Hey guys, I'm Matt.
And I'm Marian.
And this is Plastered Politics.
For God's sake.
Hi guys, I'd like to welcome our guest bartender, Tom. Tom, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for being here.
You've been doing a great job with our shots. I think that was shot number 6.
Six.
Whoa! So our viewer Sally sent an article. You know, I was watching Dancing with the Stars recently, and there was this guy that had saved all those people on the French train.
I remember that.
I know. So Sally sent us an article because Fox News apparently knew that.
Wait, Fox fake news. So Sally's article says Fox News knows Obama personally ordered the terrorists to ride the French train.
There were 3 Americans on the train, along with a British executive and a French passenger. They were able to overpower the terrorists. Sally's article is talking about how Fox News knows that Obama personally ordered the terrorists to ride that French train. So,
what's their reasoning? Do they even have one, or do they just create a headline?
It's Fox News. Is there any reasoning?
Let's be realistic. The President of the United States. Seriously, you are going to say the President of the United States ordered terrorists to be on a train to have a gun and attempt a terrorist attack? Like, what kind of sick mentality, worldview do you have?
Well, I think really you're just trying to create viewership. And you know that...
Okay, that aside, do you remember when the Dixie Chicks were beheaded because they said that they didn't...
they still had their heads.
Well, you know what I'm saying, like, they spoke out against Bush, and they were unpatriotic. But here we have a major news network that's saying that the President...
Are you saying Fox is major?
Well, they do have the most ratings.
No, but they're not a major news network. They're a major opinion network.
That is true.
They are 80% opinion.
That aside, let's talk about the principle of a head of state ordering a terrorist attack on innocent civilians to get publicity. I mean, what do you think? Like, this is so far beyond me that it's so ridiculous, but it's sad that people believe this shit.
From England, I can't even believe that people would actually think that a president, someone with the most power in the entire world, would even, like, why would someone consider that person would do something like this?
We have no idea. We have no idea.
Well, I mean, Fox News has created it like you're patriotic if you bash the president. Like, I don't know.
And that is what it's about. But what I think is awesome is that there were people that stopped it. A Brit stopped it, a French person stopped it, Americans stopped it.
But the thing about it is that it wasn't about nationality, is that there were people that saw something and they risked their life to do what they could to keep it from being worse.
And they protected other people,
regardless of nationality, regardless of their faith, regardless of their race. And I think that's something that should be celebrated and not this conspiracy of the president.
I know. It is But Matt, I think you had something that your nephew said to you that was really shocking.
On the way over here tonight, I was FaceTiming my nephew. He's 5 years old and he's been in kindergarten for, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks. So I was asking him, like, he just went to Disneyland this past week. So I was like, how was Disneyland? You know, like, tell me what you do. How was school? Did you go to school today? What did you learn? And he said, oh, we learned lockdown. And I said, oh, what's lockdown? And he, as a 5-year-old, was explaining that lockdown is where they do this thing where they hide and they get really quiet in case somebody enters the school that wants to hurt them. And I mean, obviously I know what it's talking about because of the gun violence in this country and the epidemic of school shootings. But I'm thinking my 5-year-old nephew is practicing drills like we did as a kid, as like tornado drills or earthquake drills, or things that are like out of human control, like natural disasters.
Well, it harkens back to the days, again, aging me, when I was a kid, because we spent much of our life learning how to dive under school desks in case the Russians shot missiles at us from Cuba. And that was what, seriously, that's what we spent so much of our time.
But I feel like
it was a man-made problem.
But I feel like the Cuban Missile Crisis was a made-up crisis that listen, let me finish. I feel like it was it was definitely a threat during the Cold War. But I feel like during the Cold War and the race to arms, the threat of a missile attack from Cuba was, the percentage of that happening was much less than being in a mass shooting. I mean, think about it. We have a mass shooting in this country every freaking day. I have to seriously start considering, if I cut somebody off in traffic, are they going to gun me down?
But that's not a mass shooting. You're just getting killed one at a time.
Well, I mean, okay, so go back to gun violence.
Why are you cutting someone up in traffic? You're a driver.
Have you ever experienced gun violence?
I have. I have been robbed at gunpoint. I've had a gun in my face, and seriously, like, in my face, and they said, "Give me your wallet and give me your cell phones." And they weren't joking.
Gosh. And Tom, have you ever experienced gun violence?
In England, I would never even consider it a threat. Like, no one has, as far as I'm concerned, no one has a gun who's ever gonna come and fight me.
But I mean, what do you think of, as far as somebody that's outside of the bubble of this argument or this discussion, looking into this country? Because I honestly think that people are, their position is so skewed. I mean, what is your position, or what do you guys think about a 5-year-old? He's been in school for 3 weeks, and he's being taught how to hide from the very realistic threat of a mass shooting.
Did you ever have that?
No, I didn't really think of much as a 5-year-old. I imagine your nephew wouldn't really think of it as much of a thing. But the worst thing my parents would have been worried about would be me catching the flu from the school in the first few weeks. My biggest fear in Manchester is being mugged by some random person on the way home from a night out.
But being mugged, are you talking about being beat up, or having a gun in your face? Because
I'm talking at most about being beat up. Like, I'd probably just say, okay, take my wallet and just have done with it and go home.
His brother, which happens to be one of her groupies, served in the British military, and he even stated that you don't carry a weapon unless you intend to use it. Like, you have a gun, and you intend to use it if you need to.
And I mean, he was in Afghanistan. He saw what we were fighting, the terrorists, and he was willing to do that.
But I don't even think it even goes to that level of fighting terrorists and being at war. The simplicity of saying you have a weapon, no matter what it may be, you have it and you're prepared to use it. So,
well, I think most people are taught that if you're going to use a gun against an animal, be it human or otherwise, you're using it to kill.
You always shoot to kill.
You don't shoot to maim. That's not what happens.
So I've only been in the UK probably just over 24 hours by now. And I've noticed that one thing that compared to the UK is you have such massive cars and such low fuel prices and things. Yeah, companies like Tesla seem to be having a really big impact on a lot of the mentality, I guess, of lots of American citizens. It's becoming a really big thing. Like Tesla and Solar City, both of Elon Musk's massive enterprises.
But do you think that that's because of the technology that they're bringing, or because it's culturally the thing to do to be green? Like,
See,
I think we see the need that we do need
I
to
mean,
be
I
ready.
agree, like, us see the need. Like, I feel like back in the 90s, we should have been switching to electric vehicle, or at least hybrid cars in the early 90s.
But look at like
But-
Toyota Prius was huge, and now it's like dropped off because they didn't push the envelope on
But I don't
technology.
think it's they pushed the envelope. I don't think the government allowed them to push the envelope. I think
Well,
there
that's
was a
a
lot
huge-
of there was a lot of lobbying against what was allowed and what's not allowed.
See, my impression
And that's
is
the
that
problem with Tesla. In this country, there's a lot of states that are restricting direct sales from Tesla to customers. So it's creating a more complex dynamic as far as selling the product.
Not free market.
Yeah, it's not free market, so they're restricting the access. So if they say they're free market, but it's not because the oil companies still have too much power.
my impression is that a lot of Americans don't really give a shit because the fuel is so cheap and because it's allowed to be so cheap, despite the fact that it's having such a harmful impact on the environment.
We will destroy our livable climate.
And that's okay.
And the thing is that our greed, essentially as mankind, is bringing upon our own extinction.
But
Because
that
we
but
are
isn't that
changing-
a cycle? Isn't that normal?
No other
cycle?
animal has had the ability to control the climate to the point that they changed it so much that it was their own action that caused their extinction.
See, in a way,
No
I
other
agree with
ex-
Marian that we, as a collective, we are entirely responsible for causing our own extinction, but we have zero right to cause the extinction of any other animal on this planet. Like, we have zero right to cause the extinction of the rhino or of anything else we shouldn't be affecting. Like, if we do this to ourselves, fair enough, but that's our decision.
But that's
We-
not
it's not the rhino's decision to-
This is what I'm saying is that we have been the only species that has existed on this rock that has had the ability to control the climate to the point that we've actually impacted the climate change.
But isn't that just evolution? Isn't that just
Is it, or is it?
No, it is
But
because
we're not just affecting our own race. We're affecting life in general on this planet.
but that is evolution.
If you guys like this video, make sure that you give us a thumbs up.
And please subscribe to our oh God.
And subscribe to our channel. And make comments because we really want to know what you have to say.
If you like this video, please give us some thumbs up.
Yeah, we like double thumbs up. And thanks to our viewer Sally for giving us those great articles. I know we fucked up last time, and we definitely made it up to you this time.
And if you see some article that you think we should talk about, please share it in the comments below.
We would love for you to be our guest bartender, and if you'd like to, let us know. Give us a comment, send us a message, and we'll make sure that we make it happen.
And we're really excited that Tom came all the way from England.
All the way
to
across
be
the
able-
pond.
Just to do this.
Just to do this. And please, if you're going to drink responsibly,
And
vote
responsibly.
because this
is
is
Plastered
Plastered
Politics.
And cut. And cut. Oh wait, and cut.
Oh my god.
I'd like to welcome our guest our guest politics. I'm not plastered. Am I? And cut. You want me to shoot them?
Yes, I want
Oh,
you to
get
Our camera turned off.
It got bored.
Too many takes.
But we're so entertaining.
Alright, I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna go. I'll see you in the morning. No, I have to see you in there. See you in the morning, guys. See you later, guys.
Good night.
See you later.
You sleep good.
You're funny.
I'll do breakfast and like they'll still be here, yeah?
Yeah.
In the morning? Yeah.